Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel to create this amazing e-commerce website. As far as you know, in our last two parts we have been created almost a lot of the functionality and also the pages. So today we're gonna start to build the rest of the pages and other functionality. So if you are watching the previous two videos, we are almost here where we can go through that particular categories. As you see, the categories is available right now. There is one more things need to be adapted, which is the scroll restoration. As you see, also we are just passing through, our scroll is not restoring on the right section. So and also you can go and view the single pages. We can go to the shop to see all the products, available products, and we can also roll back with the categories. So those all of the things are already done, and we created the home page. Stability is fully furnished and we have been built with our last two previous video. So if you are looking forward the code which is available for this particular two video, then feel free to go to the repo link which will be available in the description below. Here in this repo, as you see, just click on that arrow icon. You will see the branches, which is the main branch which holding that the part 1 code and the part 2 holding the part 2 code. And today we are going to build the part 3. The part 3 code, it will be available here, and after finishing the entire project, all code it will be available in that final branch, so it will be merged later on. So now if you are looking forward for the rest of the video, you can just go through the link which is provided for the part 1, part 2. It will be just keep you here. You can find all the available link. You can just feel free to watch as per your preferences. And also if you like to roll back to my channel, you can find lots of videos here. One of you like and subscription will be very much helpful for me to create much of the boosting project. And for our this project videos, all the videos it will be available within this playlist of which called is that Super Gear e-commerce project. So all the videos it will be available here, and other particular video it will be available for e-commerce and other for the any other programming language. So many videos are available, nearly more than 100 videos, so you can feel free to go and check it over there. And now today, this link I'm gonna provide in the description, and if you have any further question, you can just let me know in the comments below. You can reach it also by my mail, so it just roll up onto you. So now this is our project which I'm running from localhost 3000 from this code. And as far as you know, if I just roll back here, what you need to do whenever you're gonna clone this project, for this part, just click that git branch. After clicking, you see the extract which is there. So if I just make that git checkout, by default you will be in the main, so you'll be roll back. Oops, it's a mistake. Checkout should be main, so by default it will be in the main. Okay, I think I made small local changes, that's why it's just giving me that error. Okay, I will just discard those changes so that I will be able to show you about that merging proportioning. So I'm gonna go git checkout, or you can just make git switch. I'm gonna switch to the main. So all the code, whenever you're gonna clone that, you will just get the first beginning code. Okay, so as you see, the product is not available here, so that is available in the part 2. So you need to switch, toggle between on the link and how you can get that. So if I just go with that git checkout part 3, as you see, our all the code which is the products and other properties, it will be available here. So I'm not gonna make you much more delay. We're gonna start building our application as we are going to move forward. And I'm running my localhost, that our server is running in localhost 8000. If we open in the admin server, as you see, that is our API from where we're getting. And also whenever we're gonna create our checkout, it will also be responsible to create our checkout portion. And after that, we are having our frontend with the client directory. As you may remember, we are having two directory, one is for admin, one is for the client. And our client is running from, as we created the vt, is running in localhost 5173. Now today the first solution is that once we are starting building, and first solution is that once we click, as you see, we are here. If we roll back there, we are not going to the top of the pages. We are just throwing us somewhere in the middle or the rest of the places which is not look so cool. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna create a proportion which is naming scroll restoration. So before that outline, I'm gonna call that it will be scroll restoration, and we need to import that one from React router DOM, and I hit the save. Now if I roll back there, doesn't matter from wherever you go there, it will always keep you in the top of the screen. If you go smartwatch, if you just roll back there, go to the shop, it will be in the top. Just go to the cart, you are on the top, come back to the shop, you are on the top. So in this simple trick you can do that. Now one more properties is missing from here, is that creating that search. So we have a search properties. If we click, it should take us to the search screen. So that's the portion we are going to create. As you see, the product is loading so fast. There is a loader here also available. If you believe that we created that loader, but it's not giving that much effective because it's just rolling so faster. It's in our local host. But once we are going to upload in real time, which I'm having there, and by the way, if you are already knowing those issues, you can just go through that particular build section from the timeline where we're just starting the clean build. So now what we are doing here, once we click, as you see, we're calling the API then, and our API is the live API. Okay, so also our frontend and backend both end going to be deployed in the Vercel. So I'm gonna show you from the scratch how you can do that. Okay, so don't worry about it. At the end of the video you're gonna find all the solutions, how you can cope up with that, how you can make everything in live, even from the database to your login, authentication, all and every single details it gonna give to you with a very fashionable manner. So now let's head back to create our other portion, which is a for to roll back to create our search bar. And to create that, header is responsible to hold the search portion. And remember, we already created one properties by which we can get the search text, if you remember or not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put a simple log to see if it's just working on that. I'm just let's search, and it will be I think it's name search text maybe. Okay, I'll just keep that name. Now let's go back to the inspector. Okay, not this one, should be this project, and let's go super gear homepage, and I will click on inspect. Now in the console I'm gonna type something. Okay, what's the error? Let's just show it again. Okay, no error. See, the search is showing here. If I type something, see, the value is here. If I click, value is empty. So our search properties is already working. So what I'm gonna do now, with that we're gonna initialize the property, but before that I need to get the product, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set one more array here to support all my products. So I'm gonna make const, and it's the products is already available. If you just remember, if we go with that pagination, I think the pagination, yeah, here we already got the product to start with that. So what we can do, just copy paste those codes from the pagination, and you can type if you want to type. As you see, I'm just banding the products here, and after getting the products, that's the use effect responsible to get all the products. I'm just gonna copy that code, and then I'm gonna paste it, because if I'm going to from beginning till the end, it's gonna kill a lot of time. So just feel free to go and copy that. So now what it can be done here, if there is a two use effect. One is for fetching the categories, one is fetching our product. You can go with either way, create like a single one and put the condition, depends on you how you prefer. But as I am teaching you, I'll just go with the simple manner which you can understand pretty much very simple way. So it will be my product. Let's hit the save, and as you see, I have 25 products available. So all of my products are available here. Now what I need to do, create a utility function by which I can filter to all of the products according to the search bar. And how I can do that? Now over here below that products, I'm gonna create another properties which going to be like what you can say, if it will be filtered, RED, filtered products, and I'm gonna make that set filtered products. And by default in use state, I'm gonna keep it also as an empty array. So what is actually I'm doing here to creating a filter products array, so by which I can just go and create those fashion. I think some mistake of the typo maybe, yeah, filter products and set filter products. So now what I'm gonna do, as you see, I'm having use effect here. I have two separate use effect. So below here, I'm gonna get one more use effect to go and get my filter data, because it always gonna check which data is available or not. So what I'm gonna do is that just run a simple use effect. I'm gonna make much more bigger so you can see it easily, and just going to copy there. And after writing that formula, I'm gonna just put an empty array, so it will not it will just mount once the application is loaded. Now what I'm gonna do, write a simple variable which it will be filtered. And in that filtered, what I am going to do is that I have my products array. So what I'm going to do, products.filter. I'm going to filter on that array, and then how I'm going to filter, it will be giving me an item, the item properties, which actually the types of the product props, because it's gonna return me the single product from there. So now what I will do, I'm gonna make that item dot, so item has a name. Now item dot name, and then dot to lowercase. I'm gonna make that item as to local lowercase, and after that also I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna make that includes, what it gonna include, search text. So whatever the search text I'm provided, it gonna make also to lowercase. Okay, I think it should not be local lowercase, it should be to lowercase. Yeah, not local lowercase. Okay, to lowercase. So now it's also I need to pass that function which can be able to make the lowercase. So it's going to filter through my products. And how it going to filters, whenever I'm gonna search something with that text, it gonna go and just compare with the text. So whatever the products is available match with that text, it will filter, means it gonna keep those products only, a rest of the products it gonna throw away, it gonna filter that one. And also I'm gonna pass the variable here which it will be available for the search text. So whenever my search text going to be changed, it's going to be filtered. So now what I will do, I'm gonna just go and reference the log properties, so it gonna go with my that filtered, and let's just log that filter to see how it going to be appear before entering on the sense. Okay, so it's the console. Let's go here. Now in that filter I have 25 products, so all the products is available. But when I'm gonna type WAT, as you see, it's giving me 16 products, and on the name, as I'm filtering with the name, on the name it's going to be somewhere match the watch. So as you see, if I make the CH, it's always going to just check with that. If I make blah blah blah, as you see, it's not match, giving empty. If I click, it's just here. So now we need to find, just we need to match with that the value which we are provided, and also the match with the text which we are ensuring. So now what I'm gonna do here, just simply pass the variable. Remember we have that set filter product, and here I'm gonna just pass that as the filter is working perfectly with us. I'm gonna keep that filter as the data on it. Now we are having that filter data, but also we need to go and provide that filter data in a perfect manner. So where we can provide, let's roll back here. As you see, we created our search bar here, and where is our search text? As you see, whenever the search text is available, is giving the key. So that's where is finishing those portion, and below that I'm gonna create that properties. I'm gonna just write a name with that search product will go here. So here I'm gonna keep our search product, and how we gonna keep, we're gonna pass with the logic. The logic, it will be search text. So as you see, by default we are having all the products just roll back to our filter product, but whenever we're gonna having search text, only then we are going to render. And how we going to render, we're gonna pass a div, and that div, within that div I'm gonna make that filtered products dot length. If its length is bigger than 0, then I'm gonna write a properties which going to just pass the products, And if it's not, I'm going to just write that it will give the products. And if it's not below not than 0, means there is no products, I'm going to just pass another div, which is going to say is just like put a p tag, which will say nothing matches with your search keywords. Okay, with the search keywords. And also we can pass another variable, which going to be, as you see, search keywords. Then after that keywords we can pass a span tag, and within that span tag we can provide the keyword which they are looking forward to search, and that it will be, okay, I'm gonna put a backtick, and within the first bracket I'm gonna align with that. So put a dollar mark, then I'm gonna pass our variable. As I'm putting in a standard JavaScript, I need to go in that way. So after that, okay, finishing that here, then I'm gonna just provide a, okay, then it will be please try again. Okay, so that will be here for right now. If I go back here, maybe I will not be able to see anything. If I type something, okay, see, nothing match with your keywords. But if match, see, it's giving the products, is here, it's already available here. We just need to design on it. So on that particular layer, on the div on the top, we are going to start working on that. So in that div, with a class name, I'm gonna make it an absolute div, and from the left it's going to be 0. From the top I'm gonna make it below 20, and width going to be full. MX should be auto to keep it aligned in the middle, and max height, which I'm gonna provide a custom height of 500 pixel. It will not go more than 500 pixel. Padding X going to be 10, and padding Y should be 5, and also BJ should be white background. And then Z index I'm gonna keep 20 to align with all other properties, and overflow Y should be scroll, so not auto, it should be scroll. So whenever I keep that scroll, if I roll back to our previous page, if I keep watch W, as you see, there is so many other properties available, so you can go that. And it's why you can also put a max within height here, so it will not align with that properties. So if I just go for that mobile screen, so that the text you can feel free to take as your own. So if I roll back to 100% and just go on particular layer, I will go with responsive. Okay, so now as you see, doesn't matter how make it big, it just giving all the properties. You can just go through and keep it with that also with the same within height, as it depends on you. You can do that, there is room for it, so you can create that one, put it to challenge. And what I love you to do is to take the challenge, try to, I'm providing that design, make it more polished, make it more perfect, try to utilize it. That's the way you can learn. Doesn't, if you copy paste my code, if you whatever I'm showing, you are doing the same thing, you are not learning. How you can learn? You are doing the same thing to learn, but when you start doing, then actually you are learning. You got my method, then you will start building your own. That's the perfect example of your code, not my code. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. Try the way you want to change it. Okay, and if you have any problem to do that, let me know in the comments or reach me with the email. I will try to help you. Okay, so overflow, it will be scroll, cursor should be pointer, just to show. And that is not mandatory to cursor pointer. Text should be an block, and shadow should be LG, larger shadow, and I'm gonna make a shadow of sky text. Okay, not sky, should be sky text. And I'm gonna do another properties which gonna come later on. I'm gonna show you why I'm gonna do that. So now if I put, see, product is not available. If a product, so product is available, is passing the product. But if nothing available, so first we're gonna maximize this design. Later on we're gonna do the other one. Put a class name, padding Y should be 10, BJ gray of 50, just to see it properly. Weight, it will be taking full, it's gonna be flex, and item center, justify center, passing a border, and border of gray of 600, and rounded should be MD. As you see, matching with that. If you go here, nothing matches. You see, almost the same. Just need to go as you see, we are getting everything, just need to style a bit on that. So let's go on the p tag, put a class name. It should be text. I'm gonna keep Excel. Font should be let's just put normal font for this one. And for this span tag, which going to get our keywords, put a class name. It should be underline offset. I'm gonna put 2. And let's just go with that decoration. That decoration means it gonna affect with the design, means the underline method, which I'm gonna give 1 pixel. And text should be red of 500, 50, 500, and font should be semi-bold. As you see, similar properties. If you remove, it will disappear. Everything is disappear whenever it's available. Okay, it's coming. So now it's time to get our final things, is the product. So in the product, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go and check one more time if search text is available. As already I am tested here if search is available. So yeah, I think you don't need to check several times. Okay, I'll go just with that in particular layer. So I'm gonna just get a div. Okay, it will be returning a div. And within that div, I'm gonna just go and create that filter product. Oh, sorry, not filter. It should be filtered. Okay, filter filter product dot map. And then I'm gonna get the item, which going to getting the similar product props property. And if you have no idea what product props, where is that, you can just go in the types. You can find those properties here, which giving you the alignment. So now in the product properties, I'm just gonna simply return our product. So it will be product card. Remember, we created that component to go and align with that, and that component taking 2 parameters. One is the item, which is going to be the item. So one is fine. Okay, right now one is fine. Then another item, why I'm gonna pass, I'm gonna show you later on. So our item should be available here. If I put watch, you see, oh, lots of big items. It's not so good. So we need to make it in a perfect way. And overflow, see the over scroll. So that's the properties which we miss. Should be overflow y scroll. Okay, so that one should be aligned. Now we can scroll through it. So what we need to do, as you know, you may already having idea what's going on that. So in that filter text, in that particular div, I'm gonna go with that grid calls should be 1 by default, or yeah, let's just keep 1. And md should be grid calls of 3, and lg grid calls of 5, and I'm gonna give a gap of 5. Okay, looks perfect. And now as you see, there is a scroll bar here which we don't want to see. That's what I'm talking about before. So that scroll bar, I don't want to see that scroll bar, and it's not look so perfect. So what I'm gonna do is to create a simple utility function there, not a function, utility class name, which we're gonna provide, and it will be on that global.css, not the global, which the name index.css. Yeah, I'm just running through that Next.js always. So in that CSS, I'm going to run one simple class name, which going to be scroll bar, and it will give the properties of scroll bar height, and that it gonna match with that WebKit, and it will be scroll bar. What I'm gonna do, display, it will display none. It will not show that scroll bar which is hidden. So in here on that header, on that particular layer, I'm gonna say scroll bar should be hide. As you see, you can't see any scroll bar here, so you can do it on that way. So now once we click that, what gonna do, if we click, as you see, after click, it's taking us to that page, but the state is not removed. So if I just click here, if I click on that, we are already here, but we need to remove that source text once we click on that particular function. Okay, so how we can do that? So it's a simple way we can do is that passing that functionality which can be matched. So let's just roll back here. So let's go back to that's the product card here, and from here as you know, we have that one property which sets search text. If you just remember, that one is in the top. So that's the property which giving us our search text. So we can make that one empty. Okay, there is a several way you can prefer that, but either you can follow my way or you can create your own way. It depends on you. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, just go back to my product card. Okay, so in the product card we will define that properties and we can just align that with. So as in the product card we are here, we also need to get that properties which the set search text, and that one. Now there is one more task for you. You need to find the what you can say that you need to find the props properties on that. So that's your task, how you can find whatever the props it can gain. Okay, so just just giving you an homework. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, here as you see we are doing the handle product. There we are creating the routing. So what I will do, just passing that if there is a set search text property is available, only then it will trigger. It just going to put that set search text as empty. So it will remove the search parameter and it gonna keep the parameter. Okay, what is that? We used that, right? So it will be if set search text available, should be that one. Yeah, it's working. So now let's roll back here. If I put W, click here, as you see, gone. If I put mobile, if I click here, it's gone. So that's the way you can just keep. And also you can keep that everything center. If it's too like, just try to manipulate. Remember where you need to work. You see the grid layer where I'm putting the grid, try to manipulate that, keep it in the center. Okay, so with that we are finishing almost all over the design. Now what we need to do, whenever we are hitting on that add to cart, we need to keep the product saved to the card. And also we need to create our as you see, if we have no user, we need to create those properties to go and align with that. We can create the registration, we can create the login section, and I have another several video where I explain that one so much and a very proper way. The link, it will be in the description, by which you can learn to how to create that, but I'm going to also show you how you can create that. So let's go and start building those portion. And the first thing first, while we are going to create those properties, I'm going to go and create my setup for my store and for my database. So that could be a really helpful scenario. What I want you to do is to pay a very close attention. We have one index.ts file here. I'm going to create three more files, which is going to provide that Firebase.ts, where we're going to compile our Firebase setup. And here it will be our store.ts, where we're going to keep our store. We're going to use the Zustand to create our store. And also that video, it will be the link, it will be in the description, by which you can understand how Zustand work in a very good fashionable way. But rest of that also I'm going to provide in this video, don't worry about it. And also I'm going to make that one upload.ts, by which we can upload the image. Remember, we can also provide our profile photo here. If we just upload that image, it also going to get and learn truth and trigger that on that particular section. So now let's go in that Firebase console. If you just search for that Firebase console, you can find the console. Just click on the first link or the Firebase Google link here, and from there, if you already registered, means you need to register with your Google account, then you can find that your go to console button. Once you click on go to console button, you will come directly here on your dashboard. So let me click on that account go to console button, and here you will find, if you doesn't have application, it will not available. As I have one application is showing here. What I'm gonna do is to create a new project. Now I'm requesting you one more things. The credential, it will be showing to you, but don't copy and paste that, because what it's gonna do, I'm gonna delete that project after finishing that video. So don't try to copy paste that code, it will not work for you. Try to use your own credential to combine with the project. Okay, and also whenever I'm going to create the env file, this code, it will not provided on that particular section, so the list, it will be empty. Okay, so always try to use your own credential. What I'm gonna do, add a project here. So now I need to provide the name, which is going to be super gear, and now continue. I will not go with getting the analytics, as it will not be my project, but which is published here. I'm having analytics here. So if you want, you can create that one. So now it will start creating my project, and it will take a bit of time depending on your internet services. So don't worry about it. Just keep patient until it's done. Okay, it's done. Now we can click on continue, and after clicking, it will be available in the dashboard. So it's already directing you to that dashboard. As you see, we are lying here in the super grid. So now from here, we need to click on that web. Now we need to register our application. You can do in the same setup. You can just put the name of that, the same name, or you can put your different name. I'll not go with the Firebase hosting, so I'll register my application here. And after finishing the registering, it will provide me that Firebase SDK and other properties. And first thing, what is saying, I need to install the Firebase, right? So what I'm gonna do, let's go back to my terminal. I will just try to take one more PowerShell here. You can get your git bash also, which is preferable. Put ls. Let's see which directory you are in it, as it has the multiple directory. I need to go with that client side where I will install that. So npm and that Firebase. If you're using npm, just copy and hit the code. If you put yarn at Firebase. That's it. So after, let's just installing that one, and after installing, what is saying, I need to just clearly copy that. Again, I'm saying you don't copy paste that, as you will not going to access on that. I'm gonna remove that properties. So now I'm gonna copy that code, and after copying, as you see in that Firebase, I'm gonna paste that code. So this code is now available here. As you see, that will be available after installing. Don't worry about that. So in that Firebase config, I have my API key, auth domain, project ID, storage bucket, and all other properties is available here. So now I need to go and get some of the multiple properties. I cannot use the app right now after that file, as I need to export that functionality. So I can export the app, and also I need to export several properties, which are going to be export const. I need to find the auth, which going to be get auth from the Firebase auth. So now I can use the auth properties, and also I'm gonna export get the db database. So let's export const db. It will be get Firebase get Firestore. Yeah, get Firestore. And also you need to get the Firestore from Firebase, I think. Yeah, Firebase Firestore. And one more last property is that to use the storage for the image, and it will be export const storage. It will be get storage. Okay, so now these three properties is aligned with that. Now it's available to use in my application, but as you see, I have auth, I have db, I have storage. Only the application I initialize, but that auth, db, and storage I need to configure in our dashboard. So I will just click continue to console. And after coming here in the console, you need to click on that build. Now let's click on that authentication. So from here, I need to initialize the authentication that I want to use that authentication method. Get it started. And Firebase means the Google Firebase is providing a lot of variation. You can go with the third-party library or with the credential with OAuth, but I will prefer with that email and password. Just enable and save. So after saving, now I can use that provider and properties. So after that, as you see, I need to get the Firestore database. So click on that Firestore database, and after clicking the menu, it will start popping up. And what I'm referring you, do everything as a testing mode, because we are not going to right now to jump on the production mode. If you're going in the production mode, go there documentation. You need to just read some of the few items which can help you that. So create the database. Now everything, the default is fine for me. I will just go with start a test mode, so I can access that within 30 days. It will not appear like disappear. I can access that. It's fine for me for this test application, but here it's already in the production. And if you are want me to do configure for the production level also, let me know in the comments below. Maybe before finishing that project, we can try to go with the production flight also. Now this creating those things maybe take a bit of time. Don't worry about that. So my database is created, and after database I will go here and create one more properties is storage. So also in the storage, get it started, I will go as the test flight and click. So everything as by default is provided is fine for me. So that's one thing is done, and while it's doing that, I will just go with that Zustand. Okay, so that Zustand we're gonna use for creating our storage. We are not going to use that React Redux toolkit. If you're feel fine with Redux toolkit, you can go with that. I'm gonna copy from here and I'm gonna type that pnpmi Zustand to install that. And again, one video, it will be the link, it will be in the description, where I show easily how you can go and save that data in real time. So feel free to go there and learn by yourself. So now these three properties I can access. Okay, so Firebase is okay now. So after Firebase, I need to also go one more properties, which going to give me the functionality by which I can upload the image. So now what I need to do is to create a function by which I can upload the image. So it will be const upload, and it need to be create a assign function, as it gonna talk to my database on the Firebase. And with that asynchronous function, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go and I'm gonna just provide you the properties and gonna explain you can understand, because there is a video link by which you can get more ideas on that. See now, or I can go with that to, okay, I'll just go and explain, that will be better for you. So put const date, I'm gonna put a new date, so new date. Now that date, I'm gonna keep work on that whenever I'm gonna saving the file, saving my image on the database. So const sto storage ref, the reference, it should be ref, and that reference I need to get from Firebase store, and then I need to get to go with that storage, which the storage I am having here. As you see, we are now accessing that Firebase storage which just now we created. It's a function, but with that variable we can access that function. So you're gonna go with that storage, and from that storage we want to give the link where we want to save our image. So it will be a folder or directory called name the images, and there we are going to save that image name. You can just go with the file name, but I will put the date so we can track the name, which date we are providing, and after that I will join the file dot name. So by default, it will not be file dot name, file.name. So by default we will get one file here, right, as we are getting the name. So file, I'm gonna put any file. You can just go and find whatever the what you can say, whatever the combination it can be. So now that's the way we want to save the file with that particular name. Now what I'm gonna do, const upload task, and now that upload task, so how it going to be upload, so it will be upload bytes resumable. So you need to also this the very good fine tuning is that Firebase is providing by default the other functionality for which code you are not needing to write it, so you will get by free. Just go and just follow their scenario, and those everything is in the documentation. You just need to go with that, just to go over here, and as you see in the docs, go to docs, and you can go and search by which you can find all the properties, fundamentals, run, build, on build, how you can build. So everything is there. You can go in the Firestore and all the other properties. You can go, you can just explore a bit. Okay, then you can find all the answer of what I'm doing here. Okay, there's also a function where I need to provide that storage reference, and after that I need to also provide that file. So by both of that, it's gonna just upload that. So now as I'm creating that function, I need to return a value on that function, otherwise this function it will not work. So it will be a new, I'll return a promise. Okay, on that promise I will just make that as a resolve, and one should be reject. So one, it will work as a resolver, so it will resolve the promise. Another, it will work as a rejectable, so if the promise is not fulfilled, it's gonna reject that entire action. So now let's go here. First let's go and talk, just go with that upload task. That's the one we are going to make it. If upload task is on, means is the stage change, then what is going to happen? If it's change, we are going to just grab the snapshot which has been taken. So a snapshot. On that snapshot, what we are going to do, we are now create the variable to show the progress bar, so how it's progressing. Okay, it depends on you. You can show if you are going to see it, or if you're not, depends on you, but I'm gonna keep that as it is having in the documentation. So I'm gonna just write that progress, and that progress is going to return that snapshot snapshot dot byte transfer. How many byte is transferred? That is snapshot, and then we are going to make that total byte. So it will divide that how many transfer and how many is available. So like 1 2 3 for the percentage arrow, it's going to show 1 to 100%. So you can view that properties, and to view that we will just multiply with the 100, so it will just give us the exact percentage. And for right now, as we are doing at the beginning, we can also make that as a log upload is, so we can just join that particular tag. So we can go with that progress, and after progress we can also join in our percentage, then done. Okay, that's the similar thing we can do. So after that, as we finish that done properties, we can also go here with one more thing, is that we can go with if we have the error. Okay, then we can also go and provide the error if it's having that. So let's just, if there is the error is here, we will go with that reject functionality. It should be something went wrong, and also we are going to provide the wrong message by which is wrong. So it should be error dot code. If the error is available, it's going to provide the code. So now as you see, our functionality is going to work, but we need to define that how it's going to work. So it should be on that, after everything is finishing, it will be get downloaded URL, and on that download URL it will go with that upload tags, and then also upload tags dot snapshot dot reference, and within that reference, if we're having that reference, then what it's going to do is that get download URL. So if everything okay, it will provide that download URL, and then we are passing dot resolver here one more time, which going to be resolve the action. It's just going to give us that download URL. Okay, so that's a very simple fine-tuning function which you can create here. Okay, get download URL if it's available. Okay, what we did wrong is that, let's just roll back a bit just to see where we missed that thing. Okay, everything till here is fine, right? Everything till here is working, no problem at all. If I redo, okay, if I get, okay, yeah, previously it's not imported, but now it's looking fine. So now you can also make that as export const upload, but also you can go with here in the bottom layer, you can make export default upload. Okay, both way you can write that. So now we can use that, we can access that upload to any of our functionality, and we are good to go. So now we need to set our storage, and for the storage again I will go in a very good, just a similar fashion the way we did. So our setup is ready, our functionality is ready, we are good to go with the Firebase. Now we need to prepare to good to go with our Zustand. So how we can go with the Zustand? Let's just go with that. We'll just go with the export const. We will provide a store in our store properties, and that store properties we are just use the create from Zustand. Okay, it's not providing, it's installed. Okay, just we'll try by ourselves. We need to import that. So okay, need to be in the top layer, import create from Zustand. Yeah, so we need to create the Zustand. Again, what I'm saying you can find the video link in the description, by which is you can understand how you can start with the Zustand, but I'm gonna show you how you can go through it in a quick view way. So now that's the function. So we need to create that function, and after that we will provide the persist. As that persist, it will be responsible to save our properties in real time, in the real state. So that's the persist we are going to define here. So it will go within the persist, then we will provide the set value, and after set value we are going to pass the functionality of our all the formula which we are going to work. Okay, so right now we are going to pass several value which will be current user, and that current user by default it should be null. First we'll set current user as null, but before doing that, as you see the persist is giving us one error here. We'll try to resolve that error. So that error can be going, we need to pass an object which we need to provide our storage name. So we will give the name as storage, and then we are okay, you can give the name of storage or super gear storage. And also after passing that we need to, okay, as it's just a new word, okay, you can put that. And storage, we will pass a variable of that custom storage, okay, storage. But we are not having that one till yet, but we need to create that storage here. And how we can create that, before on that one on top level, const custom storage, which going to be right now, let's just put an empty variable here. What we can do is here, as you see, is asking some of the things missing following properties, type, persist, storage, unknown, get item. So we will get that get item variable here, and that get item should be taking a name which should be string, and within that string we need to pass the value properties here. And then we will make that const item which we need to access to the local storage, and dot get item. And after that we will go and get through the name, and we're going to return that item. If item is available, it will be json dot parse should be our item, and if it's no item available, it should be null. So we are now having the two properties, and also one will be set item, and other two, one is the get item we provide, and another two, it will be one is for the set item, one is for the remove item. So with that action, what we are doing, as far as you know, whenever we are using the persist, we are just acting to get our local storage here which we are having in the browser. So if you just don't know about that, if you just click on the inspect, you will be able to see on that application, as you see, index.tb, you can see the Firebase DB. Also for the cookies, you can see the variables of the cookies here, whatever the cookies we are accessing, this type cookies and other properties. So that's what we are accessing whenever we are making the persist, we are handling that one. So now here on that Zustand, we are getting item from here, and also we are setting item there, we are removing item from there, what the store is actually doing there. So now after that current state, we are going to get a several state which going to be is loading, cart product, favorite product. As far as you know, we have one variable for the cart, one for our showing the favorite, and another to go with to fix our user. So that's what we are going to create. So now that's the first is the initial setup which we did right now, and after initial setup we need to create the other properties. And how we gonna create? First it will be user info. Okay, so user info, and also it will be a synchronous function, okay, async. Then it will take the UID. If the UID is provided, it will take with that. So now we can handle that. So if we have that, if we don't have UID, then what it gonna say? It just going to say return, and on that return we're gonna set, if is no UID is provided, it going to set back with that current user should be current. Okay, what's wrong with that? Okay, it is return and set. Okay, that's the first function, that's the functional parameter. Okay, let's just go and try to go with that. So it will just make our current user to go and create with the default format, which going to be null, and also is loading, which should be false, because by default we are providing is loading as true. So if it's not finding any user, it will be null. So now if it's not finding user, it will do nothing. It will not give us, it will not set the current user. It means no user, no current user. Then we will go with the other properties. Const docref, we will get the document reference. So it will, we're going to access the Firebase document, and from here we're going to access the DB from Firebase, and then we're going to search in our users table, and we're going to search with the UID. So whichever UID we are provided. So we are now having that document reference, and after getting document reference, we're gonna get that document snap, so it will be snap, and it will await till get doc from the Firebase, and it will get the documents from as the document reference we are providing. So it will go and search with the document reference, which is a document, and it will go and search in the database with the name of the users table, and it will go with the search with the UID. So now it will go and match our user, and after means we are having the user right now. So I will just go and write a try catch. So if we are having the catch, we'll just handle that. So for right now, I'm going to go and console that. So it will be get user info error, and we are going to see the error. And also if we don't have, means it will not come here, but even though if it's coming here, we can also set that value as false. So means no user is loading, false. So there is no loading, no user. So now in the try block, we will do our other properties. So we're gonna just write if, again getting a check component here, document snap dot exist. So if document snap is exist, means we have the document, we have the user. Now we can set the user. So it will be current user, Why is not giving me that properties? I believe. Okay, first before going there, I'm just gonna go and type the get the typo for that properties. So because that's just giving me the error on here. So what I'm gonna do is that just go and grab my typo here in the top. You can just type it, no problem at all. So I'm gonna just get my product props. I'm gonna just yeah. So that's for my cart product item. As you see, the quantity we're gonna showcase later, and that is for our user type, where the first name, last name, password, email, avatar, and ID, which is all are coming as a string. That's our store type for the user. By default, it can be user type or can be null. Means it can be having the user or user not be having, it should be null. It's loading as the boolean. Get user info, it should be an array function getting UID as any, and is returning the promise with the variable with the voids. And the card item, which is the card product empty array of the product. Add to card item, which is the product props, is everything is product. Decrease quantity, getting the product ID as number. Remove from card, getting the product ID as number. Receipt card as a function. Favorite product as an array of the card product, means array of the product. Add to favorite, also coming with the product props. Remove card function, receipt favorite function. So now what I'm gonna do is to joining that here. So that property, as I am passing that array, so as you see, I need to pass that one store type. So this will be my main type for here. So it will be store. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, it will be store type. So let's write it store type. So the second parameter I'm gonna remove. So now as you see, as I type that store type, what's wrong? Type current null, never, product never. Okay, so it's not finding so many other properties which can be start crying. So I'm gonna just comment those properties which is not getting here. Okay, for right now it will serve the purpose. Later on we will add. Okay, so once you're adding one by one, we can go with the functioning. So now as we are having the error, having the user, so we can set the current user. As now I'm getting those things. So it will be docsnap, and then .data. So whatever we are getting the user data, I gonna just pass that, and the user should be as a user type. Remember the type we have been provided at the top, that will be the user type. So it should be the user type here. Okay, user type. Yeah, that's the user type. First name, last name, password, email, and avatar with the ID. So that will be one. And after passing that variable, so it will be with the user type. And then the is loading should be false. Means we are having the user, so our loading should be stopped. Okay, no more loading. So that is just for giving the functionality for our user. And this user, when we're gonna create our other functionality, you can see now we can write another one which going to be add to cart. So pass that add to cart, and that also going to get the product, because the product it's going to be coming up here. First, we're gonna test it here right now before creating the user, as it's going to be give us a lot of sense to create that. So this will be getting the product as the prop. So in add to cart, we're gonna just pass the products here. Then we're gonna return something. So return. So what we're gonna return? We're gonna similarly return a new promise. Okay. So okay, in that promise, which going to be void, and here we will pass that resolve, and on that resolve bar we're gonna just passing those injection which going to be set and state, and state it should be store type state. Now we are going to pass the parameter. So first we're gonna check with existing product. So means whatever the product we are passing there, is it available in the cart or not? So we'll find if any existing product is available. So existing product. So existing product, it should be go and find from that state dot. Okay, now we can remove the other properties. So it can be, yeah, cart product, and then add to cart. Okay, so we can go here. Now it should be go with, okay, state dot cart product, and from the cart product we're gonna find with that then we will just get a p as product. So it will be p dot underscore id is equal to product dot underscore id. So now as you see, this product is coming okay, after passing, oh, we made a mistake here. After passing, we need to pass that variable here. Yeah. Okay, so now what we are actually doing here, as you see, we are getting that product props from there as the product. This is the product. So we are just checking with the product if this whatever we are passing with that with the promise, if we are having this product. So if we are the product we are passing here, that is already existed in the cart product or not. That's what we are checking right now. Okay, so right now yeah. Okay, so const existing product. So now if existing product is available, then what it gonna do, otherwise what it gonna do. So if else, okay, so now if existing product is there, what do we want to do? So we're gonna return, and in that return we will refer that should be cart product, and then state dot cart product dot map. Again we're gonna map through that product. So means it's already available. Then what we're gonna do, so product dot id is equal to product dot id, and if both is match, then we're gonna do something. If id is not match, if its id is not match, we're gonna just pass the product, the simple product. If id is match, what we're gonna do, we're gonna spread the product. So whatever the product is available, it will be as like that, but we are going to just access the quantity, and that quantity we're gonna pass that product dot quantity. And if the product dot quantity, or if it's not available, then we're gonna keep it as 0. Otherwise we'll just go and make plus with 1. Okay, so if the product quantity is available, it will just go and start working with that, passing the quantity, and rest is that. Okay, so now we did our one proportion. So after that, whenever we are going to, like, if we don't have existing product, then also we are going to return something, and that time we're gonna just return that our product. So it will be cart product, and then with that array we're gonna just get whatever the states we have right now. So states dot cart product, and then we're gonna provide our let's just use say products, and then quantity, which going to be 1. Okay, and if everything fine, we can also now call back to get that resolver. Okay, resolve. So now it will add our product in the cart. So what we can do now, creating one of the functionality by which we can say if we have that product or not. So how we can do that? Remember, okay, if we go in our home as base there, if we go back to our add to cart component, so it should be add to cart button. So here we have all other properties. As you see, we are passing the products here also. So here we can see right now, we can check all of the functionality that if it's working or not. If you remember what I told you, our add to cart functionality is dynamic. So now we can test it. Is it dynamic or not? So now what we can do, we can access the store, right? So first, whatever we write here, we have the add to cart product, and then we have also cart product. So as we keep here, cart product is empty right now. So now let's go back here, and I'm gonna access our store. And how we can access is that, okay, I will just go below that. Okay, so it will be const, we will get that add to cart from there. So add to cart, and also from that cart product, and we're going to access that one from our store, and that store is just there in the Lebanon store. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass a log here just to see if we are having that our cart product or not. So let's just say cart product and save, and from here open the inspect, and if we set up right, we should be able to see our properties. Okay, this should have a creep up in the header. Remember, or where we try in the header, let's go back in the header, and as you see here, we didn't provide the key, so key should be item dot id. Okay, okay, just give it the time to reload because a lot of things happen now. So we have our Firebase, we have also our other properties. So just check one more time if everything is running. Yeah, it's running. Also our backend also running, so should be good to go. Okay, I will cut the inspector. Okay, it's loaded. So now let's just inspect again and see in the console. As you see, remember, you can see the cart product. So now we can now see the cart product. So what we can do here is to create the functionality. As you see, every cart, all of the product properties, we have that add to cart functionality. And if you remember previously, I have been creating a function on that, how we can access that one. If we didn't create it yet, then we can create right now. What it could be is that in that button, let's write one on-click function, which is going to be handle add to cart. So let's just pass that here, const handle add to cart, and with that functionality we can just now go and pass the product to our cart. So it will be simply passing a variable here, and as we are having that product in the top, so as you see, we're getting the product as props. So we have that product right now. So if we just try to see the product is logging or not, so just make that product, I'm gonna just just comment that. So now if we click any product, okay, right now is undefined, means we are not sending the product yet. So now let's see where we are calling that add to cart functionality. So let's go here and see. So it's calling here in the product, we have add to cart here, we are passing that product as product data, then we are passing also add to cart button here, and in the product cart also getting, okay, so now Here we need to pass product. It should be whatever the properties here defined. Let's just see how we get the products here. So it's getting item. So here is product is as item. So just keep it from here. Okay, now I think, okay, was wrong, must be assigned. Okay, we're good to go. So now if we click, as you see, we're having that value. So now we can see the product, and previously that one was in the product, it was this value which can see our product. So now we are having the product. So as we are having the product, what we can do is to send that product to our store. Okay, so as you see, we have add to cart, we have cart product. So now we can access the add to cart functionality. And did we just pass the toaster here? Let's just see in that app or in the main. I think no, I think it should be in the layout. Yeah, we already passed the toaster, so we can show whatever the action is happening. So now what I'm going to say is that if I have the product, okay, only then I'm going to run the action. So if we have the products, only then it will run. Otherwise, I'm going to write else condition, which is going to give us toast. Import that, and I'm going to pass an error message, which is going to say is that product is should be product is undefined. So if product is not available, it's going to pass the product is undefined. Oops, I need to pass the variable as the product, otherwise full function going to collapse. So now what I'm gonna say is that add to cart functionality going to be taken action, and the product, it should be passing on that. Then I'm gonna pass one message, should be toast.success, as we are dealing with that. So coming up with the backtick, and here I'm going to provide that our product, which the product we are provided, and we're going to get that product.name dot, I'm going to make it a substring, not providing more than 10 word. Okay, so now added successfully. Okay, so here I'm gonna just go and get my product card. If everything fine, it should be adding the product. So now as you see is empty, and if I click one product, you see it's added. If I click one more, you see 2, 3, 4. Click one more, you see just replacing with the quantity. And also one the fundamental things, if I reload, it will stay as I use the parses. So it's very simple to go with Zustand. Again, roll back to the video where I show how you can set up Zustand in a proper manner, and also the Firebase. You can go and just switch between the videos. You'll find a very good answer. So now there is one thing which I want to do is that once I click on that, remember the similar fashion we will create here. Once you click on that, you see those two activated. So these two parameters we need to work on. So now let's just go and deal with that. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna just create a functionality to do that. So we will just get an object here. So it should be naming as, you can toggle through top and bottom, depends on you. So now here we're gonna just get existing products and set existing products. So if we have the product or not, we're gonna check it. Okay, so I will just get it below that. Or as I'm calling that, it should be in the top layer, and this class I'm gonna keep at last. Okay, so now we're going to check if we have our if we have the products or not. That's what we are going to check. So how we can check that? We will just create an use effect hook here. Okay, use effect. Also we need to provide the dependency. So to do that, let's just set const available item, and that available item should be from that our cart product, which is available here with us. Dot find, we will find with that, and here I'm going to take that action as item, and from there item dot id, underscore id, it should be equal to product dot underscore id. Okay, so that means our product is available. What I did wrong, I think I missed that. No, what's happened? Okay, should be that ID. Yeah, should be that. Okay, so now that product available is here. So now I'm gonna set my available product. So it will be set existing product. So it should be as it's running with that. So it should be available product if it's available. Otherwise, it could be also be set as null. So we can now go and get our existing, like the available item. It should be the available product which is created. So now what we can do it here is that let's just go and define the properties. So let's roll back, just roll that button in a while. So what I'm gonna say, if existing product is available, then it gonna just return a div. Okay, if it's not available, then it gonna pass the other properties. So what's wrong? Is anything wrong on that? Okay, because I need to get everything on a like an empty basis, otherwise it will not work. So now if I click the product, okay, not here, see, now if I go, these two products is available. If I click, as you see, okay, this should disappear, but it's not disappearing, means something went wrong. It's disappearing, but okay, I need to provide the dependency. that's the problem. So in that existing product, we need to check, if always need to check with that product. So we are providing two parts, so it will always check with the product and the cart product. So whenever it's changing there, it will call that function. Okay, so now if we're going to add it one more, add, you see, that's gone. So now we need to do the other action on here. So what I'm gonna do is that before doing that, let's roll back to our store. I'm gonna also create two more functionality here, which going to be just to provide our, as we did add to cart, we can go with three more properties, which are going to be, okay, after add to cart, I'm gonna publish it here. And also in that layer, I'm gonna remove that three parameter, which is going to be decrease quantity, remove quantity, and reset cards. So now what we are doing here in the decrease quantity, similar way, we are finding our existing product. If the existing product is available, we are just going to minus here, and we cannot minus less than 1. Okay, and if also, yeah, that's the existing decrease quantity. And where is our increase quantity? I think, yeah, okay. So if we are just go and with the decrease, and also, yeah, I think increase quantity, we are just going to add to the cart. I think that will be fine. So we're decreasing that, and remove cart, which going to be accessing the we are just passing that product ID, and then with that ID we are just filtering the product and removing the other that product from that cart. And receipt cart, we are just setting the cart product as an empty array, so that the product, all cart product, it will be removed from the cart. So let's roll back to our button where we'll create other functionality. And here in the button, let's just first make the design here. So it will be class name, and make that as first I'm gonna make flex, and it will be a self center. Okay, then item center, justify center, gap should be 2. Now I'm gonna create the button properties. So it will be one button, which button gonna have a far minus icon, which going to coming from the React icons. So that button, put a class name. Okay, should be class name, and background color, which are going to be provided as BJ. It will be F7, F7, F7. Okay, and also we need to provide that hash, otherwise the color, it will not appear. Okay, so after passing that color, we will make text as black text, and then padding should be 2, and we will make that border as 1 pixel, and then what you can say, border gray of 200. And after that, whenever we hover, we want to make that border as sky text, and then rounded should be full, text should be base text, and hover bg should be white. Duration we want to give 200, and cursor should be pointer. So now as you can see, it should be available here. That's the one, but we need to make it like that. Okay, we're gonna come that very soon. Okay, so okay, bg we provide the border color and other properties, and after far minus we will also going to add one more, which going to say as far plus. Far plus. Okay. What's wrong with that? Did we just misspell on something, or we just streak on the trap? Okay, what's wrong? Add to cart title. I think something went wrong once we did that. Okay, bubble plugin is crash. Unexpected token 57. Here is the title. Is title okay? Is the title is coming from there? Yeah, we're dealing with that. I think I misstepped something maybe. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, should be. Yeah, I think I misspelled something. Okay, I will go with that. So now I will just put a p tag here. So on that p tag, I will just go with existing product dot quantity, means whatever the quantity we are providing here. Let's roll back to here. AI is providing 3. So now what I'm gonna do, just grab that button here and I'm gonna paste it here one more time just to see. Okay, now we can say with that, I don't know what's happened to be wrong last time. So it will be far plus icon. Okay, so now we are having the icon, but I think much more aggressiveness with the icon. So we can do one more thing, is that I think we are missing any of that class name properties maybe. So let's just see if we are really missing that or not. Okay, text, we provide the base text. Okay, here it looks more functioning, but here it looks more tiled. But what we can do is that instead of gap 2, we can provide the gap of 5. Yeah, that looks better. And also instead of passing that icon, what we can do is that we can provide in a small one. So instead of text base, we can pass that small text. Yeah, small text is good. Okay, looks good. Small text. Yeah, so now once we click on that, we want to activate something, but before that, let's go in the p tag. Okay, as because we no need to provide that. It should be 2 should be fine, because remember, once we are going to increase the quantity, we need to go and align that one. So let's just put a class name here. The text should be base, font should be semi bold. We're gonna give it 10 of width, and text should be center. Yeah, now that's gonna take the action, as you see. Yeah, now it's giving the providing the gap. So now what we're gonna do, once we click on that minus button, so on click, it should be handle delete product. So you're gonna pass that function there, and once we are adding here, just going to grab the same functionality which we provided here, add to cart. So we're gonna pass that same functionality to go whenever we are getting add to cart, but we need to write that function as we are providing. So it will be, let's go on top of it, it should be const. Okay, now what is going to do, remember in the delete a product, we are just going to provide an ID. So that's what we are going to do. Not ID, it should be the overall product we are going to pass, but let's just roll over the pages where we can see all the available products. So now if we increase, as you see, it's increasing, but when we decrease, we should be able to see that one also. So now we can just make that in the delete product. As you see, we having the existing product. So if existing product is available, means we are having that product, existing product is available, then we can do something else. We're gonna do something. So like, okay, if we have existing products, then let's just make that if, okay, existing product dot quantity is bigger than 1, means we cannot decrease below 1, right? So that's why you'll check that if it's bigger than 1, we will make that decrease quantity, decrease DECREA. Why it's not providing me that auto suggestion, I have no idea. So that's the decrease quantity we are going to use. So let's just roll back here, and what I'm gonna do is that, yeah, we are using that functionality here. Okay, so in the decrease quantity, okay, we're gonna just pass that existing product dot ID. So with that ID, it will gonna check and pass the decrease quantity. So now let's just go and passing one that. So it will be toast dot success. Okay, so what I'm gonna say is to pass a message here with a backtick. So it will say product dot name dot substring the similar way. So it should be product substring 0/10, and then it gonna say decrease successfully. Okay, so now we are having a success message. And now what if we doesn't have any successful product, means it's missing that. So after that if condition, we can also pass on else condition, then it will be toast dot error. So that means we are having a product which doesn't have like more than one value. So you cannot decrease less than 1. That's the message. And now if like we doesn't have that product, means it's a new product, also we can write the functionality, so which can be, actually it will not be appearing, so it will always be there. Just to keep that functionality, we'll see if it's available. Okay, you cannot decrease less than 1. If we go back, okay, now we cannot. So increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. Okay, good. So now as we are showing that product there, so what we need to do, let's roll back to the first. What I'm gonna do is to copy that portion. Okay, where is that? This portion I'm gonna copy here, and I will just roll back to our header, and in header I'm gonna get that value here. So I need to get that, so it will be cart product only. And also I'm gonna import that store. So now I'm gonna write a simple utilities there. Remember we have our tag here which is for the cart. So now I'm gonna say if cart product dot length is bigger than 0, then it will provide that cart product dot length, otherwise it should be available with 0. So now let's see. Okay, we have 5 items there. If we increase, if we add more items, you see the 6, more item 7. So now we can see our product is just rolling perfectly there. So now what we need to do is to show the product in the cart as we are having. If we go to the cart, we have nothing yet. So we need to just go and show the product, how that will affect in the cart. So let's just create that. In the cart, we will create that same functionality as you see. And also, by the way, it will be fully responsive for the smaller devices and for the bigger devices also. So that's the same thing we're gonna create in the card. And to align to create that, we need to roll back to our card also. So let's just open our card, and that card is here in that pages on the card. So now what we are going to do is to get our card, available card here. And how we can get that, as you see, the same thing which we have been copied there on that header, we will use that same formalities here. So now card product should be available in our product card. So now first thing first, instead of the div, I'm gonna make it as container. Okay, so in the container we can roll back and take the action. So now what I'm gonna do, write a first instant properties by which we can define if we're gonna have the product card or not. So now if we have that card product dot length is bigger than 0, means we are going to have the product, then we're gonna pass an empty string. Then I'm gonna pass one h1 tag here. It's going to say us to just to see what it's going to make the a real message, which it will be shopping cart. And like if we doesn't have that, right, so means we have nothing here. So we can also show us some messages here. So it will be seeing that like let's just write also an h1 tag, which is going to make no difference of that. It will be also shopping cart. And after passing that h1 tag, I'm going to take a p tag, which will be your cart is empty. And then I'm going to pass a lorem of 30 text, just a message which you want to prefer to put. And after that p tag, I'm going to write a button which it will say go to shopping. Okay, we're gonna make that one independent later on, or instead of button I can just provide a link here by which we can just to roll that to our product. So right now we're gonna see that shopping cart as we are having that particular product. So now let's just style a bit here. So it will be class name. I'm going to provide a text of 3 axle, and then font, it should be bold font, and also I'm going to make it tracking should be tight to stick together from side by side. And then I'm going to make text should be gray of 900, and also SM text should be 4 axle. When it's going to like the first it will be 3 axle, whenever it's going to hitting the another screen it should be 4 axle. Also the same functionality I'm going to keep that because it will be the similar of that. So now as we are having the card, what we are going to do, as you see, it will be 2 sections. One is the left, another is the right. So now after that I'm going to take a div and I'm going to get a section of 2. So now in that 2 section, one will be left, one will be right, one where I'm going to show our product. So it's going to be that I'm going to get a div, and on that div I'm going to make that cart product and cart product dot map, which going to passing the item, and on that particular item we're going to return another parameter which is going to be cart product. So it will be like something like cart product. So now let's create that one. So we need to create it here in that our UI. It should be .tsx. So now here we are going to define our all the available cart things and other properties. So now let's go back here and import that. And also we're going to provide the product as the item, it would be as product, and also you're going to give the key should be, let's just pass that as we said. We can actually meaning of that as product, depends, you can just go with that also, no worries. So it will be product dot id. So now means what we're gonna see, you see we are having cart, so that's good. So now what I'm gonna do, first create that order properties, or we can go one by one with that section. Okay, we'll create the cart product first. We're gonna now roll back to create other functionalities. So let's roll back to our cart product. So there. Here we're gonna just define how we can take the action. So here first we're gonna take the product, the properties as the props. You can make log if you are having any doubt on that. So product, it should be the product props, means it will just render a single properties of there. So now on the div, let's just go and put a class name on that. So the class name should be flex, padding y should be 6, and sm padding y should be 10. So here you will see the 10 of padding. That's what it's giving here also. Now what I'm gonna do, first thing first, I'm gonna generate as one link here, link, and also need to import that link from React Router DOM. And on that link I'm going to define one image property. So it will be image, and that source it will be product dot image. And as you know, we are having multiple images, so I'm gonna get the first images here. So it will be product image, and in the link we're gonna pass the value of that. So the link, I'm gonna just route through of that. It will be just going to product, and then it will hit through with that product of particular ID, so underscore ID. Okay, so now we should be able to see it's very big images. So what I'm gonna do is that to put a class name, we're gonna give a height of 24 and width of 24. I'm gonna just minimize it so you can see it side by side what's happening. Or yeah, let's just keep bigger. Okay, no worries. So width will be 24. As you see, it will be aligned with that. And now rounded should be MD, object should be cover, and SM height I'm gonna give a 48. So if it's a smaller skin, more than a smaller, should be width also 48. And then I'm gonna pass a border, and now here I'm gonna make with the other properties, which going to be border as sky text. Border should be, let's say, sky text, and of that opacity of 30, and hover border should be overall sky text, and I'm gonna put a duration of 300. So now as you see, once I hover on it, okay, that's the, I think the similar fashion which also it did. If we click, as you see, it's getting on that particular properties. So let's roll back, go back here, click, you see, you can come back here. Okay, now after that, as we finish it here, after that particular link, I'm gonna take another div properties, and with the div I'm gonna take one more and one more. So now here I'm gonna take on h3 tag, where I'm gonna give this the product name. So it should be product dot name, and I'm gonna make that name as substring. Oops, it will be substring, and it will provide with 0 to 80, the maximum 80 tag. As you see, the maximum 80 is providing. Okay, so that's the particular one tag, and after that I'm going to provide a p tag. Okay, and on that p tag I'm going to just pass the brand, and then I'm going to provide a span tag, and here I'm going to provide that product dot brand. So here I'm gonna showcase the brand name of the product, as you see. So first thing first, let's go in the top layer, put a style here, class name, margin left should be 4, just to keep space from the image. And then I'm gonna make it a flex. Oops, it will be flex, and flex should be in column. And after flex column, I'm gonna make a justify between, so squash everything all together, and margin left should be 6. Whenever it is in the more than a smaller screen, should be 6. Okay, and also this proportion, putting a class name, I'm gonna make it as relative, and padding right I'm gonna put it 9, and SM I'm gonna make it as grid, and SM grid calls should be 4, and SM I'm gonna give a gap of x-axis should be, let's just put 6, and whenever SM padding R should be 0, so no more padding from the right. Okay, it looks not so good, but we're gonna let that work. Relative padding R, because yeah, we're gonna make something as absolute, so don't worry, it's gonna fix on that. Let's just put a div here. On the div it should be flex, put a class name, flex. Again, it should be also a flex column, and I'm going to give a gap of 1. Now I'm going to provide a call span of 3. So my text should be get more space, and remember that one it will take only similar one span. So that's what we are creating. And I believe one more properties which we missed in the card is providing that I think a div which going to have that link, that circulation. So let's go in the card, and after that shopping cart I will just passing that div, as we have been created that div in several time. Okay, well, oh, I got the wrong div. Okay, so okay, I believe it should be something. Okay, it should not be that shopping cart. Then what we are providing, shopping cart. So that's the message. Okay. Okay, let's just go with that. I think that could be, yeah, I think we can use it as a divider. So let's just roll back here. So where we are getting the product, you see in that section, okay, that's the section we get. Before the section, let's just put a class name. So it should be, let's just make, I think it should not be here, that div after the section. The class name, it should be divide y, and also divide y should be gray of 200. Let's just put 500 right now just to see what we are doing. And I'm gonna make a border bottom, so it will be border bottom, border, and also it going to be providing that not border bottom, I should provide that. Okay, border B, border also in the top, and border gray off. Just let's put off. Okay, let's see how it's going to act it. You see, okay, that's the one. Okay, looks not kind of cool, but we will make it cool. So what I'm gonna put is that provide a divider of 200, and also the other properties as 200. Okay, let's cool. And here in that below on that section, let's put some of the things which going to say is that class name, which going to be empty of 10, margin top. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna make LG, it should be grid, and LG grid call should be 12, and then LG item should be start, and LG gap x should be 12, and then Excel gap x should be 16. Okay, so now that particular section and that section both can be aligned with that. As you see, it's squash all together. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that things. So now what we need to do in our this particular section, put a class name. So whenever LG, the call span should be 7. So it will hit on that top layer. As you see, is hitting that. So the similar fashionable things is doing right now. Okay, that's cool. So right now we have, okay, 12, we have the 7 call span. And what I'm gonna do in that section also, put a class name, margin top should be 16, and I'm gonna provide that rounded should be LG, and BG should be gray of 50. Okay, BJ gray of 50, and after that padding axis should be 4, padding Y should be 6, and SM should be padding 6, padding should be 6, and LG call span should be 5, and LG empty should be 0, LG padding should be 8. So now in that section we can put an h2 tag which going to say as order summary. Okay, on that order summary, if we save, you should be able to see in the right side. You see that's the order summary which we are creating. So let's just make it bigger just to see it side by side. Text should be LG, font should be medium, and text gray of 900. Okay, so now that's the order summary. It should be appearing right now. So let's just go and make the functioning the cart product. Later on we're gonna also roll back here to see the other properties. Okay, so here we make flex call and a small. We're gonna make that margin left of 6. I think all properties are cool. We are good to go. Okay, as we make the grid properties, and then collision 4, okay, and collision 3. Okay, let's go. So now in that class name, okay, text should be base and font should be semi bold. It will take the full of the weight. Okay, so now you see it's coming here, and on the brand also put a class name. Text should be access extra small text, and for that span tag put a class name. Font should be medium. Okay, cool. And after that properties also, I'm gonna copy that one. I'm gonna define another one which going to give us me the category. Okay, the category is here, and after providing the category there, I'm gonna pass the prices. So let's put a p tag. Should be for method price, which we already created, and that price we're gonna provide that amount. That amount should be product dot discounted price into product dot, oops, it should be product dot quantity. Okay, let's see. As you see, the price is available. So now here what I'm gonna do, pass a class name should be okay, also we can pass the add to cart button. So add to cart button, by which we can increase the quantity also. So here I'm gonna pass that product, which going to pass that a similar product which we have, product. Okay, so let's hit save. You see, okay, that's coming here. If we increase, it will do the same. Now see, you just write one function working all together. So now we can make these things much bigger. We will do it, but right now okay, what is happening is that when we are passing on that SM, let me just see the image a bit. What we did here, SM height 48, weight 48, we are passing the border and the other properties, but why the image getting crampy? That's my question. Okay, I think I'm missing some of the properties here, probably. Okay, okay, that should be, I need to provide the flex 1 properties. Yeah, that's just single properties is making all this gig. So now as we are having there in that p tag, let's just make a style here. So the text should be base and font should be semi bold, just for that. Okay, cool. So now in that div, let's just go make some class name on there. That should be on that flex item center, and gap should be 6 and margin top should be 2. Okay, margin top, that's, it's not getting well. So let's just see how it's going to be looking. Okay, price and that. So flex, it's not, oh okay, that's one more properties which we did wrong. It's rendering on the p tag. Okay, now cool. So after that div, we're gonna also define one more properties here, which are going to be, we're gonna pass it later on. But now after finishing, as you see, that div essentially is getting within another div. So now what I'm gonna do, getting one more div and then passing one more div here, I'm gonna get a button tag here, and with that button I'm gonna pass in is like IO close icon. Okay, that's the icon which we are getting right now. Okay, the gap should be a little bit, okay, we will find the solution on it, don't worry about that. Now put a class name, margin top should be 4, just to provide it 4, at SM empty should be 0, and also sm padding r should be 9. As you see, it's, yeah, it looks okay, it will be fine. And now put a class name. I'm gonna make it as absolute, and then I'm gonna make it right as 0. From the top it should be 0. You see, passing it. Now let's go and hit that button. So whenever I'm gonna click on that, I'm gonna make that handle remove product. Okay, and that also for this one, put a class name, height should be 5, or we can just put that as text should be Excel. And this button, let's put some class name here. Class name should be -m should be 2. Okay, inline flex, padding should be 2, text should be gray of 600, and hover text should be red of 600. Should be 600, and need to pass that one. So now this one we need to define here. Let's go in the top here. We can pass that properties. So what we can do is that to say const here. Okay, so we will pass one parameter here, should be saying that const remove, and I believe it will be removed from cart, and we can access it from the store. Okay, so on that properties we will just make a simple functionality here, which we did already previously. So if the product is available, what we are going to do is that passing a toast and providing that product ID. As you may remember, in the store where we are just remove from cart, we are adding that product ID. We're taking the product ID as a props, and there from the cart product we are just filtering the cart product from there with the ID. So what it will do, it will just do the similar fashion, do the same thing. It will just remove the product from cart and passing those variables. So now let's go back here, click. As you see, it just deleted, click, deleted. As you may remember, it's watch here available, so that's watch. If we click, it's gone. But and also if we just go back and see that particular watch which we have been deleted, I believe that's the one, maybe, or whatever is that. See, not available. If we click, okay, cool. You see, now you can see all the products true. Okay, so after finishing that particular line, means we are now, we have the link and we have this parameter. So now we will get another div to pass the other properties. So in the div, let's just go with that passing a p tag. So we will pass that if product product dot is stock, means stock is available, only then we're gonna pass that. Okay, what you can say, if what we are going to do is to create this portion in stock. So if stock is available, only then we're gonna just render that. So I believe instead of writing it here, I'm gonna just cut that, make it that, and here I'm gonna write it, and then getting the p tag. So it should be the p tag providing here, and it gonna return that for check icon and for cross icon. That's okay. So it will say us that let's say, okay, first we're gonna define that our check icon, it will be available here, and then we're gonna just define, let's put the span tag, which going to say us that okay, let's just see what's the message we are passing. In stock, all in stock. Yeah, okay. Let's see, it's going to say we're gonna pass a message on that, which is should be saying in stock ships in 3 to 4 weeks. Let's see if it's working, saving the purpose or not. Yeah, it's working, but I believe it's just digging. We need to roll back that one with one more of that properties up. Let's see, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So now what we need to do is to make that one as that p tag, put a class name, margin top should be 4, and I'm gonna make it a flex, and space x should be 2, and also text should be sm, and text should be gray up 700. And for that far check icon, put a class name, text should be lg, and text should be green of 500, not 50, should be 500. Okay, cool. So now what's wrong is that we're not needing that margin top. I think also we need to go one more times up maybe. Let's just see what's happening. Okay, let me just go and figure it out. Okay, in stock. Okay, we'll just provide to show the in stock properties. That's it. I think that will be the fundamental error. Yeah, should be no need to gather those texts. So we're gonna just pass that the properties of in stock, because now we are not getting the orders, so we will not go and define that. So if its stock is available, so it means that one stock is not available, right? Yeah. Let's remove that. Let's see. Okay, so now let's just go here, and also should be a while here. Okay, let's just see what else we can do. Okay, also that, okay, that will be one, and then we're gonna just pass another p tag. So that p tag going to refer this that you are saving, and then we're gonna pass a span tag, and here it will be should be that formatted price, and that price going to be amount. It should be product dot regular price minus product dot discounted price. Okay, you should saving, so we're gonna say the price, and then you're gonna say upon purchase. So that much amount you are going to save from here. So now we can roll back here and pass some class name on that. Put a class name, text should be small text, and then we will just make that, just say, okay, we are not going to define that one. Okay, just copy that. Okay, we'll go on that span tag, put a class name, text should be small, font should be semi bold, text should be green 500. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now we are dealing on that, so let's go click remove. Okay, as you see, if we remove everything, we are just coming on that particular layer where we are just showing our that property. So let's just design it before we are going back to there. So let's roll back here on the top and put a class name. bj should be white, height should be 96, flex should be in column proportion, gap should be 2, item should be center, justify should be center, padding y should be 5, and then rounded should be lg, and also I'm gonna pass a border, and border should be gray of 200, and then drop shadow should be 2 pixel. That should be white. See, that's the one is created. Now after that, that p tag, we're gonna define that also. Last name text should be lg, and then max width should be, I'm gonna define a max width of 600 pixel, and then text should be center align, and text should be gray of 600, and also I'm gonna provide a tracking which going to be wide and small. Okay, and I'm gonna also provide leading of 6. Okay, cool. And for go to shopping, this link parameter, gonna put a class name. BJ should be gray of 800, and then text should be gray of 200, and then padding X should be 8, padding Y should be 4. Let's see what we're getting. Okay, cool, not so bad. And hover, okay, let's put a rounded of MD. Hover BJ should be black, hover text should be white. Duration, I'm gonna provide a 200 of duration. I'm gonna make it uppercase, text should be small, font should be semi bold, and then tracking should be white. Okay, now you see we can go back to the shopping, it will give us here. So now let's add more product. We will define the price parameter. As you see in the right label, we need to provide the order summary, the same thing which we are having here. So now let's roll back to create that order summary. So in the order summary, how we can do that? So where we are here, go to shopping, that's the order summary which we have been created. Now after order summary, we will try to, okay, I'm gonna make a deal, or yeah, actually we can go with just with a data layer or table layer. It's a both formulation you can follow. So here I'm gonna just get a div, and here I'm gonna get the data, and on the data, so in the data first layer I'm gonna provide that as subtotal, so it will be subtotal. And also after that data table, I'm gonna pass a data mode, so it will be formatted price. So it will be formatted price, and here I'm gonna pass the amount, so should be now I'm gonna get the total amount first, then I'm gonna go with that. So how we can define that? So first thing first, let's go here, because see, we need to get overall the prices here, all the regular price, all the discounted price, then we can give and get the value from there. So to do that, let's roll back in the top. We will just get one value parameter here. So in the store product also, I think, yeah, that should be enough. So now what we're gonna do is that const total amount, set total amount, which going to be, we're gonna pass that UGStat, and here we're gonna pass an object, so it should be regular, which you're going to pass as 0, and discounted also will be as 0 properties. I believe, did we import that? Already imported, was missing. Okay, yeah, the amount which we are just passing it here, I'm gonna just keep it right now. First I'm gonna define that amount parameter. So now we need to set, so let's just make that const shipping amount should be 25, const text amount should be 15, and now I'm gonna get an use effect hook. So here I'm gonna go and find all the like prices which going to be dependent or not. I'm gonna grab it here. So here let's just make totals. Okay, so whatever the totals should be here, I'm gonna make that cart product as that will be the all product. I'm gonna go and write a reduce function here, so sum, and then I'm gonna get the product. So both things I can inject from there. Now what I want sum dot regular, so that is that getting or not? Okay, is that need to get the properties. Okay, just okay, it should be regular. So sum dot regular should be adding on that product dot regular price into product dot quantity. So that will be the regular prices. So let me check one. Okay, regular undefined. So what I need to do is that to divide that regular price, Okay, so we are just getting the total. So cart product dot reduce, and we're getting the sum and also the product in the variable. We are getting sum dot regular. Okay, just let me go through it. One, it will be sum dot regular. One, it will be here we are declaring the sum, but we can't access it. Why? Okay, we just make the sum dot discounted. Also, I'm going to define that, which is going to be product dot discounted price into product dot quantity, and from there I'm going to just return the sum. So now we are passing the sum as the returnable variable. So now we should be able to get and see that sum amount. So I'm going to just make that set total amount as the totals, which we are just passing that function here. So that function is going to define as total. What is saying does not exist on the type of cart product. Okay, so that's what we are messing around. So we have one. Let's just go on the cart product. So where is the cart product? So that's the cart product which we are getting from the store. So okay, to resolve that, we also need to define that how it can be worked. So I think it will be regular, should be 0, and also discounted should be 0 on that particulars. Okay, and also that one, it will always call whenever the cart product, it should be just changing, it will call on that error. So now we will be able to access that our total amount. So now let's roll back to which we are created before. So let's just uncomment that properties, and on the amount we can now define the regular amount and also can define the other properties. So should be total amount dot regular. Okay, now see if it's working or not. Okay, regular price is available. So in that del put empty of 6 and space y should be 4. Cool. And now in the div put a class name. I'm gonna make a flex, should be class name, should be flex, item should be center, justify between, so pushing all together. And for that data, I'm gonna put a class name, text should be small and text should be gray of 600. Similarly on that dd, that class name, text should be small and font should be medium and text should be gray of 900. Okay, so that's the similar parameter which we are trying to create. So now after passing that, what's the value we have here? The subtotal, shipping estimate, text estimate. So these all together are the same. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap those entire DL amount here. So as you see, data layer, I'm gonna put it here. So what I'm dealing here, as you just get and define that here. Okay, need to also import that. Okay, so now what is happening here in the DL layer, which you have been seen right now, I'm providing that regular price, then I'm providing the shipping estimated price, which is going to be the price of that shipping amount, and then I'm passing the text estimate amount, which is going to be just coming with the text amount, and then passing the total amount, which is going to be a is coming from the regular minus discounted amount, so that will be total amount, then the order total, which is going to be that total amount, total discount amount plus shipping plus text amount. So that's what we just created here, nothing fancy. Design is the similar layer, so no need to be worried about that. So that's the properties. Now after dealing on that, after that DL layer, we need to get one button, which is going to be checkout button, checkout btn. Now, why we create a separate button? Because remember, we're gonna check a lot of functionality here and also the checkout functionality. So it's better to have a separate checkout button, which can be really helpful. So it will be checkout button.tsx RAFCE, where we can define our checkout button. Where we are writing it, we need to just import it from there. And in the checkout button, we're gonna pass the products, which going to be getting us the cart product. So we're gonna get entire cart product, and also we're gonna get total amount from here. So which should be total amount, and that amount should be total amount, or actually right now we're not going to pass that amount. Let's just keep it like that. So that's a BTN. So let's go here, and we are going to get the properties here. So what we will do, we will get that products, and in the products we are need to going to get the properties, which should be products. It will be product props as an array of products props. So now we will define several parameters here, but before defining, we'll just go and simply create a checkout BTN. Okay, but first thing first, we need to get also the current user from the store. So we will just go and grab that user. Means if we're having the user, it's gonna just return that user. As you see, we can get current user from the store. So now we'll write a condition here. So what it will be here is that if we are having the current user, it's gonna just return one button, which is going to say checkout. And also it's, if like no user is available, it will go to say login. Just provide that button and also say login. So right now it will say login, as we are not having the user. Let's put a class name margin top of 6, and in that button layer, let's just go and grab some, and that button, the type should be as name of submit, and put a class name which going to be width. It will be full width, and routed should be MD, and I'm gonna put a border, and border should be transparent, and BJ should be gray of 800. Actually, what I'm gonna do is to get all of the class name. It doesn't fancy here, just providing the class name to grab the design, and that one it will not be provided here. As far as you know, the other property should be go here. That will go here. So now you can see, but it's flexible to provide that checkout functionality, that it will click the checkout, but you see, and we can now provide an alert here, padding. So need to sign in to make checkout. Okay, so that text, it will only appear once we have the user, only then we gonna get that. So now if we have the current user and we want to, so if we don't have the current user, we want to see that message. Okay, now we can just make a bit of a styling here. Put a class name, empty should be 2, and text should be small, font should be medium, and text should be red of, let's just put 500. Okay, and also text should be center. Okay, so now we can just put with that. So we need to go and create the checkout functionality to go with that. So with that, you see that we can just wrap through it. So now we can go and create the checkout functionality. So now we have two more things is pending. One is to create our user account, then create our favorite account, and after that we need to just go and wrap through our checkout. And while we're checking out, we need to also save the data in our Firestore to access all other properties. So I believe we can do it in our next build. So what I'm gonna do right now is to pass that data and store properties to my to that GitHub. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just remove those key, and I'm gonna remove that app also, so don't try to use that. So now all those credentials, it will just go from here. Okay, so you just need to provide your credential here, nothing fancy, then it's just going to work with the similar fashion. So with that, as I remove that one, close everything, let's roll back here. As you can see, all the changes is now in the client layer, and the admin layer there is no changes. So in here, let's roll back in the git bash, let's clear everything. I'm going to just make that git add dot to add each and everything, and after git add, I'm going to make git commit third part done. Oh, sorry, mistake, but it's okay. Git push. So now the code will be available in the GitHub. So if you go in the GitHub and click on that particular repo, it will be available the code for you. So let's just, if you just roll back on that part 3, you see the code, it will be seeing here as the one third part done is available. So you can just go and get it from here. So with that, you can just fulfill that one. Maybe we will get one more video, maybe one more, or maybe maximum 2. Then we're going to wrap up this project, and also you're going to deploy it Vercel. So wish you all the best to come here till that portion which we did today. And after doing that, only that I think 3 or 4 part is balanced, we're gonna do it in our last video. And still, if this video is helping you to learn something new, please do subscribe and like the video so that it can be reached in more users. And wish you all the best, and I will see you in next video.